So many YouTubers are making videos how the Bitcoin is actually dumping today, or let's say in the past 24 hours. And in today's video, we're going to see if we are really dumping and how deep this dump could actually be. And now let's begin. In the previous day or so, I was finding some videos on YouTube from the crypto YouTubers that with the astonishing titles that the Bitcoin is actually dumping, Satoshi is dumping, or someone from that address is actually selling the Bitcoin. But nevertheless, of fundamentals, on the technical analysis point of view, we're going to see if this is actually the truth, because we are standing over here on a daily chart, and as we can see, Bitcoin is slightly below actually this trend line, and I'm going to actually give you multiple charts to see why the Bitcoin is not dumping and why for now everything is in order. So if we zoom out over here on weekly chart, we can see the big trend line, this purple one, which is giving us resistance already for 2.5 years. If we zoom in a little bit, we can see slightly below is $9,200 level of support, and right now Bitcoin is finding level of support actually on those prices, and for now we are still remaining on those levels. If we bring the RSI on this chart, weekly chart, actually we can see that the price is still not in overbought zone, so nothing critical is happening on the weekly chart on the Bitcoin price. Now, interesting things we can find actually on daily chart, guys, because over here we are slightly below this line, but this doesn't mean that the Bitcoin is dumping like many titles are actually saying in the crypto YouTubers video, because over here we are finding level of support on $9,200 perfectly fine, like we did in the previous retest. Now, many of them are calling this dump. If we take to measure actually this, we can see in the past 3 to 4 days actually decline of 7%, which is totally normal. One of the things that you need to understand that the Bitcoin is actually finding itself on the resistance, which is $10,000, and right now for about approximately 2 weeks we are trying to actually break this level, and we are still not succeeding, but for now we are trying to actually break this resistance. And as I mentioned in the previous videos, if we manage to break this resistance, we are probably going to see big rally for the Bitcoin, or at least we're going to see new highs, or let's say new level of supports on the way to the upside. As long we are above this $8,000 level of support, we are bullish on this channel. One of the reasons for that is because Bitcoin managed to retest this level and spike right back above it. Those 2 weeks means, as I mentioned in the previous videos, that the bulls have control above this level and they are not tending to actually break it. Also, reason for that is the moving averages, which are standing right on that level, and those levels are right now are watching many traders, and bulls are not going to give up from this level so easily. So this is one of the reasons why we need to understand why this level is very important. Also on this level are actually crossing the moving averages, which is on some sort of a way golden crosses, let's say, and that means that the moving averages are getting ready for bullish lineup. The bullish lineup is looking like this. 20 exponential moving average should be slight below the price. After that, the red one, which is 50 exponential moving average. After that, the gray one, and after the gray one, the green one is coming, which is 200 exponential moving average. This is very important to understand because Bitcoin is actually forming position for the new bull market. If we go further up, the most bullish thing for the Bitcoin over here is because we are above 20 exponential daily moving average, which is determining current Bitcoin state, or let's say the trend that Bitcoin is in. Right now we did retest this exponential moving average and bounced back above it 10 days ago, as we can see over here, and right now Bitcoin is retesting this level all over again, so nothing new is happening. We actually dumped here much more to actually retest this moving average, and on those videos I told you that we got overextended over 2.5 weeks over here, and Bitcoin has to actually retest this moving average because we don't want to see parabolic phase before we actually retest this moving average. That's very important to know because Bitcoin tends to actually come back and retest 20 exponential moving average if it goes too parabolically. So right now we are actually retesting this level, which is nothing new for the Bitcoin. Now, if we exclude all moving averages over here and all lines and just leave this tunnel, we can see that the Bitcoin is in bullish trend right now. So for now, we are still retesting level of supports and resistance over here that we actually are climbing on in the past 2.5, almost 3 months over here. So right now Bitcoin is doing perfectly great. I can't see any dump over here. I can't see nothing bearish over here because it's not bearish. We were bearish on this channel until we broke $8,000. If we get back on this chart all over again, we can see that the $8,000 is broken pretty easily, which gave me very bullish sentiment over here. That means that the bulls are in pretty good control when it comes to breaking resistances. But when we came back to retest this level over here, we bounced back immediately after 2 days with the 2 long wicks, which are giving me a lot of hope over here. That means that the bears managed to actually push the bulls all the way. If that's not enough, we can bring the MACD, which is actually showing us a little bit of bearishness but in bullish territory, which is corrective way to show us that the Bitcoin is in correction, which means that those 2 moving averages over here are going through each other all the time, and we are still into this bullish territory, let's say above this histogram over here, which is totally fine and totally normal for the Bitcoin when it comes to corrections. So for now, we are still not seeing any sign of weaknesses for the Bitcoin in this area. Very important charts that we need to mention is the term Bitcoin search on the Google Trends. Over here we can see that we are still bullish, which means that we are still climbing when it comes to popularity of the Bitcoin search term, and that means that the local high we actually made over here in the past 2.5 years since the 2017 bull market, and that's also very good sign, or let's say bullish sign, for the Bitcoin in the next period of time. If we switch to fear and greed index, we can see that we are in neutral zone over here, which is totally healthy. Although you should not lean on fear and greed index for too much because it's not always reliable, but it is a good indicator to show you where the people are when it comes to some sort of a sentiment into the Bitcoin space over here. So nothing special is happening also over here. This is actually pretty healthy and bullish and good for the Bitcoin. If we are in extreme greed, or let's say at least here in this grid, this could actually give us a warning sign for the sell-off, but right now we are not into extreme greed territory, and that's also the bullish sign. If we switch on Messari, one very bullish sign is the volume, real volume actually on all exchanges for the Bitcoin is 2.6 billions, which is insane for the Bitcoin in this situation right now, and this also gives us a clue to show us where the Bitcoin actually is, and that's in the bullish state. This actually means and represents that it's not easy to dump the price as a whale or as a big entity, because we have a lot of trade in volume, and that means that the Bitcoin needs a lot of Bitcoins to dump in order to actually see the big reduce in price. But that's not happening because we do have a lot of bulls and probably the bears who are actually making this right. So for now, still no signs for the bearishness. Now I think this is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't find any bearish signs that people are talking about right now, at least not from technical point of view, and we are going to go through news on some other video because this video is only about technical analysis. I want to ask you to hit that like and subscribe button if you like this sort of videos, and also follow us on Instagram, Twitter and TikTok because I'm uploading there on pretty much daily basis, so I don't want you to miss any of those news. I want to thank each last one of you for watching our videos, ladies and gentlemen. As and always, till the next episode, happy trading and goodbye.